Hi folks, just a quick video. So this one, yeah. You can't blame people for not believing in God. When I was a young believer, we had these evangelists going around, young believers who believed that were evangelists, who were Bible bashers basically. And I recognised at that point in time, this is not helping. It really is not. Because simply quoting the scripture at people in an aggressive manner is not really going to help, is it really? Yeah. So, as I said, all these videos at Speaker's Corner, when they do videos of so-called pastors tearing down Muslims, yeah, that's not God in any way, shape or form. They're not going to see God for what they're going to see is the devil. They're seeing hatred. They're seeing judgment. They're not seeing love, grace and mercy. They're not seeing, that they are forgiven in that, are they? No. So, yeah, when people don't see God, it's because we're not showing them. Because we're not doing a very good job in any way, shape or form of showing God. And therefore we can't blame people for not seeing God. And that's why, as I say, if you've got friends or family that don't know God, don't blame them for it. Don't blame the fact that they just can't see it. You just can't show. It's you that ain't showing. It's not them that ain't seeing. It's you that isn't showing. Yeah. Oh, on Facebook right now. There's messages coming up about Chris Blackaby is doing tours around Europe and will be in the UK and other places around Europe to do speakies and churches. So, they're looking for invites to churches so we can do that. Yeah? Okay. Somebody then said, he's so easy to listen to. Yeah, that's not the point. That isn't the point. Yes, he's sorry. Talking about talking and type of voice. Yeah, I've got a little foggy in the throat. His voice has got a lovely tone. He is Australian, but he's a very gentle sort of Australian voice. And so, easy listening. And a lot of people want to listen to him because he's quite, gentle in that way. I'm not. I don't care. No, I couldn't care less at all. Because it's not about that. It's about taking in the message. If God has given Chris Blackaby things to say, then it's about taking in the message. It's about being able to receive that. Rather than the way, again, yeah. People are so much focused on the packaging. It's like at Christmas and times like that. Some people are focused very much on, has the person put a lovely little bow on the present, and have they, did they write the writing really nice? Was it a lovely card, etc. Who gives a shit? For goodness sake. But with regards to the message, for goodness sake, no. If you're rejecting a message because of how it's put across, how can you get more stupid? And if you're accepting something that might be of the devil because it's put across in a nice way, then again, excuse me? Yeah, look, those in the world, when they hear things of God, if they're not of God, they find that very, very difficult to hear. Very, very difficult to receive. Because if you're talking about love, if you're talking about grace and mercy, if you're talking about do not judge, if you're talking about you are forgiven, in the world, they don't like that. What they like is condemnation, retribution. They like all that. They like all that. They love the American programs where you've got the police arresting people and people put on death row and being executed for their crimes. They love all of that stuff. You got the crimes, you got the police catching them, you got the condemnation, the retribution, you got all of that. People love that stuff. because that's where they are. That's what's in them. Yeah. Anyone who works in any organisation, be it social services, be it probation, be it police, yeah, they don't want to hear about forgiveness of the criminal. They don't want to hear about grace and mercy being shown to these criminals. They want to hear only about the victims. Only about the victims. So I was saying my court case with regard to the driving incident. Again, I've got a feeling that I might need to say something initially before the actual case has even started. And just say, I know that that's what the prosecution is going to do. Because the case isn't about what happened. The case isn't about any bruises that person got. The case is purely about the charges. Are the charges right to be brought? Am I guilty of those charges? That's what it's about. It's not about, did my car go on the path? Did my mirror hit someone? None about that in any way, shape or form. That's not the way the law works. The law is purely about charges, right? Are the charges suitable? Can the prosecution prove that? I've got to disprove it. They've got to prove it, right? Okay. But therefore, it's about the charges. Now, I would be very confident if the focus was just on charges. I can guarantee you they won't be. I can guarantee you the prosecution is not going to try and focus on proving that the charges are correct. They're going to try and focus on the actual incident itself, on what happened, the consequences. They're going to have witnesses come in saying they saw what happened even though they didn't. But the more people you've got saying they saw what happened even though they didn't, it doesn't matter because that's going to get into the head of the justice, right? They're going to have loads of photos, even duplicates of the photos because, it's a trigger the emotions. It's a trigger that, the victim. That your job is to protect the victim, to care for the victim. Yeah. The world loves that. In God's kingdom, there's no victim at all. You don't read in scripture that any persons or people are victims. You don't hear that. You don't hear them described as that. You don't even hear that crimes are describing people as victims. Never. You have a law that deals with offence. It's not about payback, it's not about retribution. Although there is a degree of payback in the Old Testament. If someone steals your goat, he has to give you back a goat. Or maybe another goat. Maybe 2 goats he has to give you back. So therefore there's a degree of payback there. But the person it was stolen from is not a victim. The victim, in that case, if someone steals your goat, who's the victim? The goat. The goat was taken. That would have been stressful to the goat, right? But no, as I say, in the world, they love that. But that's why, there are 2 type of coats, really. There are 2 jackets that are offered to wear. One being the peacock, which is of this world. And the peacock jacket is about saying, look at me, aren't I wonderful? Look how great I look. I'm perfect. Look at me. Don't I look good? I've not done this, I've not done that, I've not done this, I've not done that. And along with that jacket, you get a Sun newspaper. Because the Sun newspaper, certainly from years ago, or any tabloid press newspaper, it was all about looking down. Looking down at this person. At least I'm not as bad as that person. That's why you have programs like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and Big Brother and stuff like that. Because they were all about looking down upon people. These people were celebrities. These people did have a bit of fame once. They lost it. Now they're desperately trying to get it back. Right? It's all about looking down. Whereas in God's kingdom, the jacket you get to wear is the armour of God. The armour of God is pointing to him. It's saying how wonderful he is. It ain't about me in any way, shape or form. You've got the breastplate of righteousness. You've got the sword of the Spirit. Well, the Spirit is God. The righteousness comes from God. You've got the Word. Well, the Word is what? God. Right? So the armour of God, it's of God. It points to God. So one points to us. One points to forgiveness, grace, mercy, righteousness. The other one points to the complete opposite. And those people who are in the opposite, if they're going to see God, they need you to be bright. They need that light to be bright. Because they've been in the darkness for a long, long time. But also, when you bring a bright light, bring it gently. What they need is gently. But that's why, to me, if I'm dealing with people in church, maybe the person's right. Maybe I need to be a tiny bit more sensitive, because maybe that's the point. Because even people in church, if they've been in darkness for a long, long time in the church, maybe I need to bring it a bit more gently. Maybe. But that's up to God. And that's up to God to change me to do that. And to change my ways to do that, because it's not in my nature necessarily to do that. I'm not a Chris Blackerby, that's a certainty. So there you go. He would bring it gently, because that's his way. Yeah. So there you go. I wish you well. And yes, shine brighter, shine stronger, and shine longer. And trust God in all of that. You take care. Bye-bye.